Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Most of Apple's products rely on mainland China for assembly and production, with more than 95% of its production capacity concentrated here. This highly concentrated supply chain layout has brought efficiency and cost advantages to Apple, but it also hides risks. Apple is worried that over-reliance on the industrial chain in a single region may cause serious impact on its production and sales once it encounters force majeure factors, such as geopolitics and policy changes. In order to diversify risks, Apple began to urge major foundries such as Foxconn, Pegatron, and Wistron to go to India to establish production bases. As the core assembly manufacturers of Apple iPhone, Foxconn, Pegatron, and Wistron naturally responded positively to Apple's call. Among them, Foxconn, with its keen market insight and efficient execution, quickly deployed in India, which significantly increased the assembly capacity of Apple products in India in a short period of time. Looking back at the development history of Huawei mobile phones, before being sanctioned, Huawei showed a rapid growth trend in the domestic and even global markets, with its excellent technology and products. Its market share continued to rise, which once made Apple feel huge competitive pressure. However, the sanctions launched by the United States were like a heavy hammer, which hit Huawei's mobile phone business hard and sales fell sharply. Taking this opportunity, Apple quickly filled the gap in the high-end market and successfully reversed the market situation. But Apple did not relax its vigilance because of this. Instead, it was worried that it would face similar sanctions one day. In order to prevent problems before they happen, it is imperative to build a reliable supply chain backup. India, a country with a large population base, has entered Apple's vision with its low labor costs and highly potential market size. From the perspective of production capacity layout, Apple's actions in India have been accelerating in recent years. In 2023, Apple started a mode of synchronous production with factories in mainland China, and Indian factories began to participate in the production of iPhone 15 and Plus series. By 2024, it will further deepen cooperation and produce the flagship model iPhone 16 Pro synchronously with mainland factories. Relevant data shows that at the beginning of 2024, the iPhones assembled by Apple in Indian factories were worth as much as $14 billion. Accounting for 14% of the world's total production capacity. According to Apple's plan, India's iPhone production capacity target is to increase to 25% in the next 3 to 4 years. Foxconn, as Apple's long-term partner, occupies a pivotal position in Apple's supply chain system. For a long time, Foxconn has achieved its rapid rise and development by taking on a large number of Apple orders. When Apple proposed the strategic requirement to transfer production capacity to India, Foxconn responded positively without hesitation in order to continue to consolidate its cooperative relationship with Apple and obtain more order shares. Foxconn has demonstrated strong investment determination and action in India. As of 2024, Foxconn's total investment in India has exceeded $1.4 billion, and its business scale has also exceeded $10 billion. Foxconn's unremitting investment has a clear and simple logic behind it. For electronic assembly plants, orders mean profits, and as the financial sponsor in the industry, the importance of Apple's orders is self-evident. Foxconn knows that keeping up with Apple's pace is the key to maintaining its business growth and market position. Although the Indian market has many similarities with China's early reform and opening up, with abundant and cheap labor resources and huge market potential, and in order to attract foreign investment, the Indian government has also introduced a series of preferential policies similar to those of China in those days, such as preferential land purchase for factory construction and tax exemptions. However, in actual operation, it is very different from China. In the early days of reform and opening up, China not only formulated preferential policies to attract foreign-funded enterprises, but also implemented them in a practical and unambiguous manner. Take Foxconn as an example. The local government not only actively assisted Foxconn in recruiting employees, but also ensured that various preferential policies were fully and timely implemented. India is different. It is known as the graveyard of foreign companies. There are many uncertainties in the implementation of policies, and the promised benefits may be difficult to truly fulfill. More importantly, India has two difficult problems to overcome. First, the overall quality of Indian employees is uneven. Compared with mainland Chinese employees, they lack the spirit of hard work and are generally resistant to overtime. Even if Foxconn invests a lot of resources to train Indian employees, the effect is still unsatisfactory, which directly leads to a low yield rate of product assembly, affecting production efficiency and product quality. Second, India's local supporting facilities, especially the mobile phone industry chain, are seriously imperfect. In the process of mobile phone production, many key accessories cannot be obtained locally in India and must be imported from mainland China. Although the two factories in India employ about 50,000 Indian workers, they are still highly dependent on workers dispatched from mainland China and a small number of Taiwanese employees in terms of production and management. In order to meet Apple's requirements for Made in India, Foxconn often chooses to complete 80% of semi-finished product production in mainland China, and then transports it to Indian factories, and only completes the last 20% of the finished product assembly process, so as to achieve the product labeling Made in India. As the market situation changes, Apple's performance in the Chinese market has fluctuated. For several quarters, Apple's sales in mainland China have continued to decline, and this reality has prompted Apple to re-examine its supply chain strategy. Apple realizes that mainland China not only has a complete industrial chain and high-quality industrial workers, but also remains a huge market with great potential. Therefore, Apple began to re-emphasize the supply chain in mainland China. Cook visited China several times in a row, clearly expressing Apple's emphasis on and dependence on the supply chain in mainland China, and emphasizing that it will continue to maintain close cooperation with mainland Chinese suppliers. Against this background, Foxconn quickly made strategic adjustments. According to insiders familiar with Foxconn's Indian business, Foxconn has taken a series of eye-catching actions, detaining manufacturing equipment being sent to India, completely stopping the dispatch of mainland Chinese workers to Indian factories, and even recalling all mainland Chinese workers who have already entered India. This series of actions undoubtedly announced a major shift in Foxconn's business strategy in India. India was obviously caught off guard by Foxconn's series of actions. Foreign media paid close attention to this matter and bluntly stated that the situation of capacity relocation has begun to reverse. After experiencing the ups and downs in the Indian market, Foxconn seems to have clearly realized that continuing to maintain large-scale operations in India will not only be difficult to achieve the expected economic benefits, but may face greater losses. Therefore, these actions of Foxconn are more out of consideration to stop losses and adjust strategies in time to avoid falling into deeper difficulties. Foxconn's experience in India is not only a microcosm of a company's overseas market expansion process, but also a vivid portrayal of the global industrial chain's continuous adjustment and adaptation in a complex and changing economic and political environment. It reminds companies that when making global layouts, they cannot only focus on short-term interests and superficial advantages, but also need to deeply consider the actual local conditions and potential risks.